Hello, good morning, and welcome to Euros Daily. It's 9 a.m. on Saturday, the 19th of June. It's not 9 a.m., it's 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 19th of June. Slightly confused. Sore heads this morning. It's day 9 of Euro 2020. I'm Joe Carter. I'm a little bit hungover, but I will be your guide through Euro 2020. We've got a podcast every day reviewing and previewing all of the games. Lots to get through today with yesterday's games to review, including England-Scotland, and all three of today's games to preview. Our Man of the Match and Dick of the Day award, and Roz's iconic stat of the day. All of that to come here on Euros Daily. Comment, like, subscribe, allow notifications, and share this video if you've enjoyed it. Share the love, people. Share the love. Alongside me is the one and only half Scottish, half awake, half cut, heart-rendering hunk of a man. It is, of course, Roz Mac. How you doing, Rosa?
Yeah, not too bad. I think I'm possibly more hungover than you. I don't know. It's not a competition.
But if it was, you'd be winning.
If it was, I'd be winning. But no, I'm all right. Enjoyed the game yesterday. Just from a Scottish point of view, from an English point of view, it was bloody dreadful. But yeah, for me, it was kind of lose-lose. But I'm kind of feeling quite good this morning.
I think 0-0 could have been the best result for you, couldn't it? As England and Scotland.
I think so. Well, effectively now it's just in both teams' hands to qualify.
Yes,
and Croatia have looked very poor in their first two games. Be at Hampton Park, it'll be a electric atmosphere. Scotland have given a decent account of themselves in both their first games. So, yeah, best possible result for someone like me.
Yeah, and we'll get on to reviewing the game properly in a second. But first up, you've got a stat of the day, haven't you, Roz? It's time for Roz's stat of the day.
This is possibly the most hungover stat ever. This is like literally just me being barely awake and scrolling on Google. This was the 115th meeting between England and Scotland, but it was only the fourth 0-0 draw.
Oh, there you go. Very good.
It's only the fourth time that it finished goalless, so we witnessed something special.
We certainly did witness something special last night, didn't we? Let's get into it then, into the game. A lot of kind of feedback so far has been England were lethargic, England were passive, Scotland were more active and more aggressive. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that Scotland had quite a clear game plan. They stuck to it well. They were well organised, had the better chances. So, really had good chances to go ahead. I don't think England, if they had a plan, I don't know what it was, to be frank.
Yeah.
Because, I was kind of speculating yesterday that they might have gone back to the back five and tried to sort of nullify that left-hand side. But in terms of, I don't mind a sort of passive performance if you're a Scotland, if you're an underdog that's kind of just nullifying their attacking threat and frustrating them. But when you're clearly the better side and you're not really nullifying them, but you're also not really doing anything, creating chances and going forward, Scotland had the far better chances, far better. Apart from John Stones hitting the post in the opening 5 minutes, whatever it was. England were limited. They were just so poor creatively.
Yeah, that was England's best chance, probably. Scotland created a lot, and they managed. I mean, Reece James worked his nuts off. To be fair, he did an okay job of nullifying down his right flank. Obviously, looking after Tierney and Robertson and not conceding. I mean, Reece James can give himself a pat on the back. I thought Mings was good for England. I think Mings dominated. But yeah, bit insipid going forward. Not much on the side of creativity. Do you think Southgate was happy to come away with a 0-0?
Potentially. He would have seen this game as a potential pitfall for sure. And he's usually very good at managing the press, so I think he'll be able to handle any backlash or the inevitable backlash that will kind of come his way. I think he's a pragmatic guy. I wouldn't say he's cynical enough to not want to top the group.
Yeah.
But of course, the other reason that I think we should be happy with that result, or I should be, but I think English like purely English fans should be as well,
Yeah.
is that we don't want to win this group.
Well,
I don't want to go out in the round of 16. Do you?
Well, you've got to win. You've got to play the best teams at some point, right?
Here we go. Here come the cliches.
Yeah.
Cliché.
But just say in the comments, Mus is in the comments from his sunny hideaway in Cornwall. I just like someone with high cholesterol. Roz always has to get his statin. Oh, Roz, come on, that was quite good, I thought.
Yeah.
You're just letting it hang there, aren't you? You're just making him feel so awkward now. He's sitting there going red. Sorry, Mus. I found it funny, but you know, I'm a dad. I love dad jokes.
Like, just a half smile, or just anything. That's what Mus does.
Universal Fleece in the comments. Everyone hyped us up after Croatia game, but didn't think we were actually that good in that game either. Right, I've got something for you.
Bollocks.
I've got. I love it.
That's absolutely ridiculous. The whole England thing where we kind of let ourselves. We're so negative as a nation. The Croatia performance was outstanding. They were poor, but all over the pitch, man for man, apart from Kyle Walker, everyone at Croatia was outstanding. And it's like in 4 days' time, they've just turned into utter shite. But no, don't downplay the Croatia performance. That was solid.
What I will say, Roz, I'll put this to you. Right, I've got a couple of questions left on this one before we move on to the other games.
They were rough games.
Pre-tournament, and most England fans would have taken this at this stage. Would it have been 0-0 against Croatia and then 1-0 against Scotland? So is it that different? You know, after 2 games, haven't conceded. We've only conceded 1 goal in the last, only conceded once in the last 8 games, is it? You know, we come into the tournament off the back of a 1-0, 0-0. That's 4 games in a row in this kind of England bubble where they haven't conceded. And surely that is the takeaway for England, isn't it?
I think we've got to be careful to... I mean, yes, that is true. All facts. Well done. They're all factually true statements.
Can you be hungover every day? This is hilarious. I'm finding it so funny.
That's all true. However, I think to go for another footballing cliche, like you were doing earlier with, if you want to win the tournament, you have to beat the best teams, would be that you have to look at the performances and not the results. Or you have to look at both. It's results business. But actually, if you look at the performances, I think the thing that was absolutely dreadful from an England point of view yesterday was intensity and creativity, mainly. Harry Kane dropping deep. You know, it works when you're playing along humans on at Spurs. It works when you've got wingers that will naturally drift inside. We've actually got those wingers in our squad, so I don't understand it. We've got Jadon Sancho and we've got Marcus Rashford. Sterling can do it, didn't do it too much yesterday, but the fact is that Harry Kane's dropping so deep and then our wingers are staying wide. What's the point? The only way, particularly if you're playing against a back three, and 2 of them aren't natural centre-halves, you know, it's about kind of dragging them out, and then actually, you know, you've got to defend and attack. The only way to beat them is round the back, as John Barnes once famously said. It was just so infuriating to watch yesterday. Then Gareth Southgate sort of puts on Marcus Rashford for Harry Kane.
That was an interesting
kind
one.
of a logical game, but I didn't really see why. I don't see why you would take off Harry Kane when you're needing a goal, and you had. You know, why haven't we seen Jadon Sancho yet?
Yeah, Roz, I was just going to ask you actually.
16 minutes? Jack Grealish with 16 minutes to go?
Roz. Right. Listen, if you're watching the stream, get in the comments, give us your thoughts on the England game. I want to put some questions to Roz while he's in this absolute state, and let's try and rile him up a bit, shall we? The substitutions. This is the one I'm going to put to you. You started kind of to allude to it there, you know, sort of custard pie in my question asking. So, what do you reckon went wrong with the subs? Grealish came on. Everyone was happy about that. Didn't really do much. Drew a few fouls in our own half, or you know, near the halfway line. Not great. Rashford, like you said, through the middle. Why did he come on through the middle? Why didn't we see Sancho? Why did Harry Kane come off? What would you have done?
Why didn't Jack Grealish start? What's the point in, you know, everyone's calling from him? Gareth Southgate isn't helping his cause, and I'm a big fan of Gareth Southgate. and think actually, all in all, he's definitely the right man for the job. You could, in terms of squad harmony, in terms of handling the press, that feel good vibe around the camp. I think he's brilliant. But the fact is, why would you? This game is made for Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is an entertainer. He's a show-off. He's an arrogant twat, and he loves a scrap. And he loves getting kicked and drawing and riling other players up and drawing fouls all over the pitch. Scotland, yeah, they were well organised, but Lyndon Dykes, in terms of a defending centre forward, if you're getting corners in, if you're getting crosses in, isn't that much of a beast. You know, got Grant Hanley. Grant Hanley was superb yesterday, but he's the only natural centre half there. So you start Jack Grealish, and all of a sudden you've got all this opportunity to actually get balls into the box. There was just so much about yesterday. But say I would have started Jack Grealish 100%. The game was made for him. If you're not going to play him in this game, what game are you going to play him in? I also would have rested Foden. Thought he was very good against Croatia, but you know, we've got the players to kind of rotate it. Why the hell have we not seen Jadon Sancho yet? Is there something we don't know? Is he injured?
Maybe.
I know Man United are in that bidding war again, which can't be good for his head. So if it's that, then I'll be really pissed off. Because what kind of self-respecting team puts a transfer bid in 3 days before a tournament for a player that is then rejected, so they don't even know that it's going to be accepted? Maybe that might be the reason we're not seeing Jadon Sancho. I don't know. But yeah, the game was made for him yesterday. The game was made for Jack Grealish yesterday. Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice were outstanding against Croatia. And everything I've said about Calvin Phillips was I didn't know he had that in his locker. So superb against Croatia, but I will stand by me not wanting him to be in the squad before because I just hadn't seen that from him. What I saw yesterday was what I was expecting.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not to knock Calvin Phillips. He's a young kid. He's great. He seems like a really nice bloke. But yesterday, if you're playing him with Declan Rice, you've got no creativity, and then you've got Wembley getting you on your back, and you've got a well-organised Scottish team that are actually attacking from both flanks. You know, I thought Stephen O'Donnell was superb yesterday.
Okay.
Had probably the best chance of the game.
Roz.
Roz. Beautiful.
I think we're going to go from Roz's rants to Roz's rambles. That was a good old ramble. All I asked you was, what would you have done differently in regards to the substitutions? And you gave me a nice sort of soliloquy about the game as well.
I think it's rant plus hangover equals ramble.
Yeah. Matt's in the comments. Only 8 shots against the poor Croatia team. Only 2 on target. Stand by the point. We look better than we actually were because Croatia was so poor. I agree with Roz on the subs. Strange to wait so long for Grealish. Why no Sancho, etc. Southgate must be on a bonus pounds per minute. Sterling plays as well. Well, let's not forget Sterling is the most experienced player in that squad. He's got the most caps.
Yeah.
Roz.
And by the way, the fickle. How fickle England fans. I hate this negativity. It happens every single tournament. But Sterling was, for me, man of the match. Everyone was saying it's Phillips. Phillips was a close second for me, but Sterling was absolutely superb against Croatia. So sorry, Matt, you're wrong. But in terms of tracking back, but also going forward and getting the goal. If you took the goal away from Sterling, if he didn't score that goal, he was still the best player on the pitch. Now, as soon as it got to sort of the 65th, 70th minute, everyone in the pub that I was in, saying, "Oh, Sterling is shit. He's rubbish. Get him off. He can't finish." Just resorting back to that. It's so infuriating. England fans got to be like the most negative kind of.
Right. So, Roz,
built ourselves up for so long.
Roz. All right. I'm giving you the platform. You've got 1 minute. I'm going to time it. You've got 1 minute to rally the England fans and get them positive. Okay. Don't fight fire with fire. I want you to give a big positive push to England fans, and then we're going to start talking about your beloved Scotland. Okay, are you ready? Give me the vibes. Get the vibes going. Come on, make me feel good about England in this tournament. Go.
I think we've got the most naturally talented squad that we've had, possibly in terms of the way the game is currently being played in about 50 years. I think in terms of natural ability, we looked at that golden generation, but actually Phil Foden is much more in the kind of Iniesta, Figo kind of mould, kind of cultured European footballers, great football at their feet. You've got the likes of Jack Grealish, who we haven't really seen. I think Gareth Southgate has to start him now against Czech Republic. The one good thing about that kind of really insipid result was actually that now Southgate, there's the whole thing that you can't change winning side. The only thing he did yesterday was to change the fullbacks. So now he's going to have to inject a bit more creativity. He's going to have to inject, these brilliant players, Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish.
10 seconds left, Roz.
Come on. The fact is also we don't necessarily, we're through. We've got 4 points. So, frankly, we can really go for this game now against Czech Republic.
Yes, I'm definitely feeling the vibes after that. Nice one, Roz. Thank you very much. Matt's in the comments. He says it's realism, not negativity, and Sterling wasted possession and chances versus Croatia. We're going to leave it there on the England chat. We're going to go to Scotland. What did you make of Billy Gilmore's performance?
Superb. I thought he was really great. I think I read he had 91 pass accuracy, which is superb for a young guy playing in such a big game. Very highly rated at Chelsea. But the great thing about Scotland, and Billy Gilmore links this, I couldn't have picked. I wouldn't have picked. What am I trying to say? That is the lineup. That is man for man the lineup that I would have picked.
Yeah, you said yesterday as well. You said 5-3-2 yesterday. I think you mentioned
man for man.
Gilmore coming in.
Man. That's exactly the lineup that I would have picked.
You said you would have picked Che Adams alongside Lyndon Dykes as well, and it proved to be good for Scotland, didn't it? Mete's in the comments. He says, "What time did you wake up, Roz?"
I woke up once at 8:30, and then had an extra hour's kip, I think. So I don't know.
I don't know. It was that big a night. Okay.
Mike, what do you want?
Give me some more positivity now on Scotland, right? Going into the game, how does Scotland qualify? You've got a minute. Go. Come on.
Scotland have put a really good account of themselves in the last 2 games. They've shown they could do the defensive stuff. Again, I'll go back to that they only had one natural centre half, and I was pushing Scott McTominay to actually play at centre half because he's played brilliantly there in the qualifiers. Kieran Tierney's back. And they just looked like they all kind of knew their jobs yesterday. You've also seen that kind of creative flair, particularly actually in the game that they lost 2-0, weirdly enough. But Andy Robertson was absolutely beastly in that first game. Now Kieran Tierney's back. They're going to be playing against a poor Croatia side. And even the players that I didn't really rate, sort of championship level players, your Grant Hanleys, your Lyndon Dykes, your Stephen O'Connell, the right wing back. They're raising a game now. They were all superb yesterday, I thought. So, yeah, come on the boys.
So you think England and Scotland can qualify from this group?
Yes. I genuinely think from what I've seen from Croatia so far, and Matt is right, Croatia were poor, but let's not downplay England, who, creatively were superb in that first game. Yeah, from what I've seen from Croatia so far, but also from what I've seen from Scotland so far, I don't think they deserve to lose the Czech Republic game. It's a freak goal, the second goal that killed the game. They were very good before that and looked like they could win it. They were superb yesterday. Croatia have offered very little, I think. So there's no reason Scotland can't qualify. It's also at Hampden Park, The atmosphere was 5 times, 10 times better than Wembley in that first Scotland game.
Okay, brilliant. Let's park the England-Scotland chat there then. Hopefully we'll be talking of both teams doing well come Wednesday, Thursday next week, looking into the last 16. Let's talk then about the other games yesterday. And there weren't many goals yesterday at all. One of them was a Sweden penalty as Sweden beat Slovakia 1-0. And I think the main thing to take from this game was Sweden's resilience, which they showed against Spain in their first game, 0-0, 1-0. Sweden are happy with that, 0-0 against Spain, 1-0 against Slovakia. They've done very well there. And the exciting player that Sweden have up top, Alexander Isak, 17 goals for Real Sociedad in La Liga last season. La Liga's young player of the season. Would he have played as much if Ibrahimovic was around the squad? He's taken his chance and he did well. He played the ball that won him the penalty and he had a number of chances. And I think he's one to look out for in the rest of the tournament.
For sure, he's also the only guy with eyes that sort of rival the Spanish referee in the England-Scotland games yesterday. Kind of intense, stare. Great eyes.
He has got intense eyes.
No, it was a really good, lovely penalty from Forsberg. I think it was the North Macedonia game where Alioski missed his.
Yeah.
Always taking the chance to bring up a Leeds player missing a penalty. But I think it was only Ronaldo that had actually bagged his by that point. I think there have been 5 penalties in the tournament. I think 4 of them have been missed. If you count the Alios one as a miss, which it was, you just put in the rebound. So it's good to see that, Memphis Depay to the Netherlands and also Mikhail Forsberg. Like, I think it's probably about 50-50 now. Which is still not really bad for European Championships. But Sweden looked good, and they've got quality all over the pitch. Someone I'd like to talk about is Seb Larsson, who's still going.
Yeah.
I mean, he was at Arsenal before Wenger, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe not quite, but I remember him at Birmingham. He's at Sunderland for a while, wasn't he? He's still going, still on the corners. So fair play, mate.
Yeah,
he's clearly got a really good dietitian.
Yeah, great stuff from Seb Larsson. The other game yesterday, Group D, England and Scotland's group, Croatia, Czech Republic, finished 1-1. Not the most exciting game to watch, but Schick made himself a Golden Boot contender with his 3rd goal in 2 games. Perisic getting the equaliser, showing a bit of class for Croatia. Desperately needed that. Both of these teams could still go through. Both, it's a very open group, isn't it? What did you make of that game?
Look, Croatia were poor, really, in the whole game. I mean, they had that one moment of quality after the second half kicked off, but actually just looked like a shadow of their former selves. Did you see the penalty incident? Because that's been a really sort of contentious talking point there. And I think in general VAR has been very good all tournament. They keep changing the handball law. I don't think anyone knows what it is anymore. So, judging by the fact that VAR has been superb so far in this tournament, I'm going to say that by the current rules of the game, they did get that right, but it's never a penalty.
Yeah.
There's nothing really Lovren can do. I don't understand why you've got like attacking handballs and you've got defending handballs, haven't you? And for both of them, the rules have just changed constantly. Just no one knows what it is anymore. Is it intentional? Is it non-intentional? Is it natural position? Does it not actually matter?
It very much
or not. It
seems to depend on the personality of the referee and how they see it and how they call it. And then now it goes to a room and the VAR guys check it as well. And it all seems very kind of red tapey, where there's not like a set law. But that's the beautiful game, isn't it? That's why we love football.
But that's the thing, and this is why I don't like that VAR has taken a lot of stick, because actually what VAR has done is it's exposed that there are so many grey areas in the rule book. But if that's a penalty, then it's just not a penalty, is it? I think the main thing is that, like I say, they keep changing the rules. I don't think anyone would have a problem if they just stuck to it for a couple of years. But it seems like every new season they go, oh, here's the new handball law. And I was watching that game yesterday, and I couldn't tell people why it was a penalty, why it wasn't a penalty. I think VAR got it right, because in certain laws where they've changed them, that is a penalty, but I don't think it is a penalty.
Okay. Okay. Let's leave that one there. And before we get on to our predictions for today's games, if you're watching, by the way, get in the comments, give us your predictions for the 3 games today. Hungary, France, Portugal, Germany, Spain, Poland. Get in the comments there. Give us a shout. Matt's in the comments. Different Matt. Confirmation last night that Robertson is the best left back in the world, and he's got a little kind of arrogant emotion. There you go. You got Roz smiling for the first time this morning. Well done. And before we get on to our predictions, and we want your predictions, so get in there, get in the comments, give us your predictions. Roz, I need your man of the match day yesterday, and I need your dick of the day.
It's a hard one. I think actually man of the match day. I'm going to be really boring. I don't like, individual trophies. As Roy Hume would say, it's a team game. Individual trophies don't count for anything.
This one does.
So I'm going to say man of the match. I'm going to say man of the match day. Whole of the Scottish team.
Oh, come on. No.
And
I'm
going to say dick of the
day. No.
The entire English team.
No. That's outrageous. The whole point of it is that it's the one player that stood out and shone out of the 3 games.
Performance. it was collectively brilliant from Scotland. It was
Okay,
collectively
so
right from England.
so you go for their captain then. You say Robbo's man of the match day because he led them out, or you say Steve Clarke, the manager, because he set them up.
Okay, if you're gonna push me,
Yeah, I'm going to push you.
O'Donnell, only because I thought he was the weak link. Because he's one of the few SPL players in there that's probably at a lower level than all the others. And actually, I thought on the right-hand side, what was interesting, I thought in particularly like the first 40 minutes or so, well, let's call it the first half, everyone was anticipating that left-hand side. And actually what Scotland did is they just went down the right-hand side.
Nice.
Scotland's right-hand side, which I think actually was... I think they would have done that no matter who played at left-back, looking at it, because... they would have known that England were kind of set up and prepared for that left flank of Scotland. If you actually look at England's left-back options, well, Kieran Trippier is naturally right-footed and played in the first game. Luke Shaw, like dynamite going forward, but really not the best defensively, in my opinion. Ben Chilwell, I've been calling for Ben Chilwell to start for England for a long time. But actually on that right-hand side, O'Donnell was absolutely superb and just raised this game a level. Could have scored. Really, really good save from John Pickford. So yeah, gonna go for him.
Okay, and Dick of the Day, presumably for you, the Dick of the Day is Juan Martinez Munuera, the video assistant referee from the Croatia Czech Republic game, who gave the penalty.
No, I don't like doing this. Like I was saying, I don't like the negativity around England. It was a derby.
But you're going to choose an England player.
He was trying to take the emotion out of it, which he did well because there was no emotion in any of the England players. But I'm going to have to say Gareth Southgate. And I like Gareth Southgate.
Wow.
The timing of the substitutions, it was just so passive.
Fair enough. Okay.
So, yeah.
Right then, let's get on to today's games then. At 2:00, Michael Oliver will lead out Hungary and France in the Puskás Arena to a full capacity crowd. How do you see this one playing out? Hungary-France.
So I'm going to go for 5-0. But actually, no, I'm going to go for 5-1. I think France might get one back. No, to be honest, I thought Hungary were very decent against decent enough Portugal side. Everyone's raving about Portugal. I think player for player, their squad looks unreal. The difference between them and France is that France have been playing in this system with these players for a very long time, whereas Portugal kind of feels a little bit kind of shoehorned. I don't think they get the best out of Bruno Fernandes in a Portugal shirt. I don't think it's actually possible to get Bruno Fernandes and someone like Ronaldo actually in that same squad,
Yeah.
And yeah, so Hungary were very organised and were unlucky to lose by the scoreline that they did. It was 2 late goals from Ronaldo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Saying that, France are a better side than Portugal. Their front three is absolutely terrifying. So I'm going to, it'll be 3 or 4-0. Let's go for 4-0 France. They were taking the piss against Germany.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So 4-0.
Anyone that says that the French were underwhelming, I think it was kind of like when like 2 different year groups play each other at football at school, and you get kind of the older kids that might concede a few kind of sloppy chances, but it's only because they're like trying to show off the new trick that they just watched on YouTube last night. It's just like really sort of like dodgy passing from the French biz.
Yeah.
It's like outrageous little bits of skill, and it's like these guys are below us. Like Germans are not up to match. We'll win anyway. In fact, we'll win the whole tournament anyway.
4-0. You agree with Universal Fleece in the comments, says 4-0 as well. Who are you going for? Who's your man of the match?
I think I said before that Antoine Griezmann really impressed me because he was dropping so deep, but by that nature, he's not going to get the goals. So I'm going to go for Karim Benzema. Unlucky to not get his goal.
So 4-0 and Benzema. Let's crack on then. Portugal, Germany at 5:00 will be led out by another English referee, Anthony Taylor.
Michael Oliver. Oh, wow.
Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor.
Didn't have any at the last one, did we?
No. So we've got two good refs going out there today.
Not the rest.
Portugal, Germany then. You predicted pre-tournament that Germany would finish bottom of this group. Do you still stand by that? Did Portugal give you enough against Hungary to think that they're going to beat Germany today?
Portugal showed me enough, and Germany showed me more than enough. That I stand by what I said. The fact is, they've got a very hard game today against Portugal. They will lose the game, and then they're going into their last game, potentially pointless, against Hungary, who will also be potentially pointless, but looking for that third place. Third place. So, yeah, the pressure will be on Germany, and I fully stand by that they will finish bottom of the group, which means they're going to lose today.
Okay, and what's the score going to be today? And man of the match?
3-0, Cristiano Ronaldo.
3-0 Ronaldo. Okay, Matt's in the comments. He says 1-0 Portugal. And on to the last game today then, 8 o'clock, Spain, Poland.
One thing we didn't talk about, sorry, mate. One thing we didn't talk about was in the France-Germany game, Rudiger's nibble.
Yeah. What
the hell was that?
I mean,
like, Suarez bites. If you're gonna bite someone. It's sort of just like, it's like foreplay. I mean,
if you're gonna bite someone. Is that your actual
don't bite
feedback
someone.
on the situation?
If you're gonna do it. like Rudiger was just like a little squirrel. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, right. Look, Spain, Poland later, 8 o'clock. Not an English referee this time. It's Italian, Daniele Ossato at the La Cartuja Stadium in Seville. Spain, head-to-head at the Euros. They've won twice against Poland. It was 0-0 against Sweden for them in their first run out. Poland obviously lost to Slovakia 2-1. Is this one kind of obvious, Spain to win? Matt's in the comments, he's saying Spain 3-1. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it will be a Spain win. I think that, the Spanish are always very philosophical, aren't they? They have their philosophy. They know the way they're going to play. I think they would have actually been fine with that 0-0.
Yeah.
Because actually the way that Pedri played, the way that they kind of got their system across, I thought they looked very comfortable on the ball. And as we said, they're in this kind of transition period. But yeah, I think they'll probably need to start scoring before the famously nice Spanish press start getting on their backs. Probably the only press that are actually nastier than ours. Yeah, they're comfortable Spain. I wouldn't say 3-1. I think that would be too out of control. I think it will be a 1-0 or a 2-0.
Okay.
From Spain.
Can I nail you down on one of those, 1-0 or 2-0?
Let's go like 1.5 now. Let's go for 2-0. 2-0 with I'm gonna try and make you smile. Oyarzábal.
Yeah, mate. Oyarzábal, man of the match. Okay, cool. Love it. Okay, before we go then, I'm going to give you a quick lowdown on fantasy football. And if we look to the bottom of the table, it's David with 0 points. That's his team name, not his actual score. His score is 39 points. Then PBR Mason on 42 points total after nearly 2 full game weeks. Pookie Woogie all night long. Do you guys even check your teams? I don't know. And then LK Victorious Secret on 51 points. Up the top in third at the moment is Rumble 150. Oh, Tommy on 99 points. And 2 teams have broken the 100-point barrier already. Matt Basley's Your Own, and DB92's Dominator. And he really is dominating. 19 points clear at the top of the table with 120. Roz, you're 4th on 97. I'm 8th on 82 points. And Mus is 10th on 80 points. But a lot of players still to play, and a lot of players that will be in those bigger teams towards...
it's quite nice near the top. Just come and join me.
Brilliant. Okay, right. We've run way over. It's meant to be a 20-minute podcast. This one's been 35 minutes now. So
really?
Yeah, really.
Next time, Joe, just try and ramble less.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, cheers, mate. Cool. Right, we'll see you tomorrow, mate. What should we do? A sort of slightly later kickoff again, 10:30?
Whatever, mate.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, just wait until you get the call up, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, mate. Cheers. Have a good one. Enjoy the games today.
That's right.